be mad.
Yeah,
like,
listening to
life
him,
is great.
Listening to him talk, it just reframes the perspective, because being a player on tour, I know how stressful things can be. I'm sure they're 10 times more stressful for Carlos Alcaraz, but when he's out there competing, win or lose, he has a smile on his face. We saw it in Australia. We've seen it throughout his entire career. He genuinely enjoys competing. He enjoys getting out there, going to battle, leaving it on the court, and whatever the result is going to be, he seems to be fine with it, and that is a crazy perspective for such a young player to have.
You say win or lose. It's majority wins.
Well, that helps. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
Winning a lot certainly helps your perspective for sure. But I think he's just wired a little bit differently.
Yeah.
He's able to take the good with the bad. He's able to take changes from his technique to his team and just carries it on in stride. I'm like, man, I wish I had this guy's mentality.
Yeah, understands the perspective of gratitude promotes abundance, and he's got a whole lot of that. Let's take a look at his road to potentially a third title here. This guy's a two-time champ, Jeannie. Why wouldn't he win a third?
Yeah, and my favorite part of his answer that we saw earlier was in the middle of talking about the fans and this and that, he just throws in, I love playing tennis. And you just see that, like, he genuinely enjoys it. And a little bit as to what Chris said, I'm envious of his mentality and wish I had more of that back in the day. But yeah, of course he has some tough opponents coming up, but there's no reason why he can't.
Other than the Paris Masters, the last time he didn't reach the final at a tournament that he played was Miami last year. Chris, I mean, isn't that insane?
Yeah, that seemed like that was a bit of an anomaly. He lost a kind of wild match, I think,
David Goffin, yeah.
who's a former top 10 player.
Sure.
Still not something you expect from Carlos. But since then, the guy has been on a tear on the hard courts. We talked about Sinner a lot last year, about his dominance on hard courts. Carlos said, hey, I heard a little bit about that. Let me try to show you who also can be dominant on the hard. So he's certainly difficult to beat. I think in a best of 3 set match, though, I think kind of leaves a little bit of room for potential upsets for a guy like a Bublik, potentially even a Medvedev with the form that he's shown. But honestly, I can't think of any other reason that he wouldn't win this title.
And it's not just hard courts, Jeannie. I mean, he did it on the clay and he did it on grass as well. The man either wins or makes the final every time he steps on a tournament court.
Maybe that's why he's so happy and like, it's so good. I'd be that happy too. But yeah, it just shows that his game. I mean, he has that all-around game.
Yep.
He can be so physical. He can have the weapons. He can have the defense. He can do it all. And he's one of those once-in-a-generation players. And so it has been such a joy to watch him and watch his attitude with it as well. He looks like he's genuinely enjoying it and just like soaking up the moment and really living in the present and not too concerned about what happens because he usually wins. Like,
you know, the other thing he does too, he brings a certain showmanship that we haven't really seen since maybe prime Roger, but I think he even takes it to a different level. Carlos engages with the fans a lot, and I think that's something that we've seen Roger kind of stay very stoic, and he wows the fans with his shot making. Rafa would get the fans involved, but it was very serious. You never saw him really smile. Novak can kind of be on both sides. He can be very happy, or he can really go at the fans. Carlos always seems to have a great perspective. He wants to give the fans a show. He even talks about it. He goes, hey, they're here for entertainment, so why not entertain? It's like, well, we're not all as good as you, so we're trying to win. You're trying to entertain and win, and so we're really not the same.
He turns real matches into exhibitions and still wins.
yeah, the fact he can actually do that while still winning and staying focused is important because you can bring up someone like Nick Kyrgios who loves the entertainment aspect, but some could argue, okay, he could have done better in his career tennis-wise. This guy kind of has the magic of both, of having that showmanship, but also winning just as much. So, you know, one of a kind.
He is the most consistent player on tour, and it is not even close. Looking forward to seeing Carlos Alcaraz